Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the fifth day of our deep learning workshop. It is amazing to see how far we have come together over the last few days. And now, let's quickly recap our journey. On the first day, we learned what artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning are. And we also saw how the neural networks communicate. On the second day, we explored the mathematics behind the neural networks, including the vectors, matrices, and activation and loss functions and gradient descent. On the third day, we opened our world to neural networks, black box, and understood what perceptrons are, the weights, biases, and the propagations in forward and backward direction, the epochs, and the batch sizes. On the fourth day, we entered the world of computer vision and learned how convolutional neural networks help the machines understand their images. And today is our final session. Today, we are going to answer a very important question. What happens after we train a model? Many students believe deep learning ends when a model reaches its accuracy. But in reality, it is only one stage. The real challenge is by taking a model from a notebook and turning it into something people can actually use. Today's topic is the deep learning life cycle, from data collection to the production deployment. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Sahil Sawant. I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from VIT Pune, and currently I am pursuing Masters from Computer Engineering from VJTI Mumbai. My primary areas of interest are in AI, machine learning, deep learning, and signal processing. Also remember that this complete course is available on Ingiverse. Simply sign in, watch the sessions and complete the final quiz to earn your certificates. The Ingiverse was created to support the engineering students in their placement journey, gate preparation, semester studies and technical skills development. Currently, we are hosting more than 8 technical courses along with premium notes and learning resources. Take a look at this particular diagram. This slide summarizes everything an AI engineer does. Notice the journey. It starts with collection of data. Then neural architecture is developed. Model is trained, the optimization is applied, and finally we get the production, and the production is deployed by deployment processes. And finally we have a live production system. Many beginners focus only on the neural network part, but in industry, building the model is only one part of the process. The real workflow begins with collection of data and ends when the model is completely deployed and serving all the real users. Think of this slide as the roadmap of AI project. By the end of today's lecture, every stage in this life cycle will make sense. The second slide talks about simplifies the entire workflow into 5 major stages. The first one being the data collection, the data cleaning, training the data, its evaluation, and finally the deployment. So let's understand each one by one. The data collection means gathering raw information. It may be an image, it may be an audio, it may be a text or sensor readings as well. Anything relevant to the problem. Then comes the cleaning part, where we remove the errors, duplicates, or missing values and inconsistencies. Then we move with this clean data onto training phase, where the neural networks learn the patterns. Evaluation is where we verify the learning and is actually useful. Then at last we deploy, which means we make the model available to the real world users. Notice something important. The training is just one of the 5 stages. That means most of AI engineers actually happens outside the model training. Now let's discuss one of the most important ideas in machine learning, that is training and testing split. Imagine preparing for an examination. If the teacher gives you the exact same questions during the practice and during final examination, can we truly measure the learning? No, not really. The same principle also applies to AI. And that's why we separate the data. Typically, 80% we take it in training phase and 20% we keep it in the testing phase. The model learns from the training data, but the testing data is locked away. The model never sees it during the learning process. This simulates the real world. When the users interact with your deployed model, they will provide new unseen data. The testing set helps us estimate how well the model will perform in these situations. Without a testing set, we cannot trust our results as well. Now, this is one of the most important slides in the entire workshop. Let's start with underfitting. Imagine a student who barely studies before exam. They fail to learn important concepts. Their performance is going to be poor, and that is called underfitting. The model learns too little. Now look at the middle graph, the optimal fit. The model captures underlying pattern. It learns enough to generalize that this is our goal. Finally, the overfitting. Imagine a student memorizing answers without understanding the concepts. They perform well in the practice questions, but they struggle when new questions appear. This is overfitting. The model has memorized training data instead of learning the patterns. In deep learning, achieving the balance between the underfitting and the overfitting is one of the most important challenges. Now, once a model is trained, how do we measure the success? Most beginners answer that is accuracy. But accuracy is only one metric. And this slide introduces four other metrics, evaluation metrics. The accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. Accuracy measures overall correctness, no doubt. But precision measures how many positive predictions were actually correct. Recall measures how many actual positives were successfully detected, and F1 score balances the precision and the recalls. These matrices become extremely important in the real world applications where mistakes have different consequences. And that's something we will discuss next. This slide explains a very common misconception. Accuracy and precision are not the same thing. Imagine throwing darts at a target. The first image is accurate, but it is not precise. Shots are spread out but centered overall. The second image is precise, but it is not accurate. Shots are tightly grouped but far from the target. The third image is both accurate and precise at the same time. And that is going to be our goal. Similarly, an AI model should not only be overall correct, it should also be consistently correct. Understanding this distinction makes critical when designing reliable systems. Now we move on to choosing the right metrics, like real engineers. Suppose we are building a medical diagnostic system. Which is worse, a false alarm or a missing disease entirely? Most people would agree that the missing disease is far more worse. In that case, recall becomes extremely important. Now consider spam detection. False positives may annoy users. Here, prediction becomes more important. For imbalanced datasets, F1 score becomes the preferred matrix. And when the classes are balanced, errors have equal cost. Accuracy may be sufficient. And this slide teaches us an important lesson. There is no universally best matrix. The right matrix depends on the right problem that we are solving. Now moving on to the reality of AI. Here, this slide reflects how AI actually works in the industry. Notice the loop, the collection, cleaning, evaluation, and back again. Many beginners assume that evaluation is the final step before the deployment. In reality, evaluation is the diagnostic stage. If performance is poor, the engineers return to the data or retrain the model or redesign the architecture as well. AI development is rarely linear. It is always going to be iterative. The cycle represents until the system becomes reliable. And this is exactly how the real world machines learn teams operate. And finally, we arrive at the deployment. This is the moment where everything comes closer. Notice the transition from development environment to live production. And before production, the model must pass evaluation using the unseen testing data. Only then do we trust with the real users. Once deployed, the model becomes an actual product, a website, or maybe a web application or mobile application, a recommendation engine, or a chatbot just like our ChatGPT. This is the stage where AI creates its own value. And this is the stage where we will reach in the today's implementation summary. Let's look at what we have learned across all the 5 days. The first day was about AI, ML, and DL. The second day was about the mathematics behind the learning. The third was how neural networks actually learn. The fourth, yesterday, was how machines understand the convolutional neural nets. And today, the fifth day, is how the AI systems move from the data collection to the data deployment part. And at this point, you now understand the complete deep learning life cycle from raw data to neural networks to training, evaluation, and finally the pinnacle that is production deployment. And this is exactly how modern AI systems are. And with that, we conclude the theory part of our deep learning workshop. In the next session, we are going to build our final project and deploy it an AI powered image classification system. This will be accumulation of everything we have learned so far. If you enjoyed this workshop, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Leave your doubts and questions in the comment section and I regularly review student feedbacks and try to answer as many questions as possible. Also, don't forget to explore the Ingiverse for certificates, recording, quizzes, and premium notes for technical courses. And if you'd like to continue your learning journey, check out Sahil at Work YouTube channel where you will find detailed content on algorithms, problem solving, data science with Python, microcontrollers and processors, and other engineering topics. Thank you everyone. Until then, keep learning, keep building, keep experimenting, and I will see you in the final implementation session. Happy learning and happy coding. Adios.